Hello, how is it going? I hope you had a fantastic 2025, and I also hope you have an even better 2026. And in this video, I will predict what will happen in the next year with my all-seeing eye, my all powers. All my predictions will come exactly as I say. So, in the first prediction I have coming is an AI crash. Yes, an AI crash. A crash more specifically happening on the financial side. So, if you did not know, if you're one of those lucky ones who don't really pay attention to their finances and the cost of living, you would have noticed, things have been getting a lot more expensive lately. Like GPUs have been hitting the market. Apparently, RAM prices are going up. The price of consoles are getting more and more expensive. Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Consoles should get cheaper as the generation goes on, not more expensive. What kind of fricked up world are we living in? But unfortunately, it's kind of the reality. Food's going up, housing's going up. Basically, everything is going up except for my income. And that's the truth. So why does AI have anything to do with it? Mostly because our entire economy is based on seven different companies. Mostly NVIDIA, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Alphabet, and Oracle, and then the other one. It's basically all of the AI companies. And everything else is actually technically in a recession. So if you're feeling like you're in a recession, it's because we are actually in a recession. Unless you're like a stockholder of one of those companies, you're technically in a recession. And I presume you aren't a holder of those companies. So, but why a crash? Why will a crash happen? A crash will happen because AI actually doesn't bring in a lot of revenue. OpenAI, ChatGPT, is worth $500 billion. And yet only generates around 12 billion in revenue. 12 billion. Dude, this is insane. It can't even generate like 10% of the actual worth of its company. The only reason it hasn't completely fallen is that people just keep using it and people think it will go higher and higher because it's getting more and more used. But like the idea of like companies replacing all their workers with AI and ChatGPT is just a fantasy. I work in software engineering and software development, and most of the developers are forced to use AI even though they don't want to, even though it produces crap ass unsafe code, and it's just forced upon us as if like we have to use it or else our supervisors won't get mad at us. Yeah, it's really all just the way to prop up AI. It's gonna come, and then once people realize it's not generating a lot of revenue, a lot of those investors will start pulling back, and then that's effectively how a crash happens. So get ready, it'll get a little worse, maybe a little bit better, but maybe it'll... And the next prediction, a little bit AI, is that I have to say, we're kind of going to get used to AI content. A lot of AI content is going to start seeing in our games, in our movies, in our music. It's okay, music... It's already happening in our music. I think there was just one German song that like made it to like the top 90 of the charts, and it was completely AI generated. There was another American musician who also was apparently signed by a record label, even though all her music is completely AI generated. Her image is AI generated. The only thing that isn't generated from this artist are the lyrics, which I guess are pretty good or whatever, pretty decent. But the lyrics can be generated too. I don't know why a record label just threw $3 million at a random AI artist that anyone can just generate. So yeah, that's also not a good sign. But we'll probably, sadly, get used to it. It'll start slow, it'll start maybe with an image or a video or a sound effect, and then lo and behold, it will make a part of this content we consume. It's already happening, we're already AI brained, we already gotten used to it. There's already videos of like fat grandmas on highways just falling down. We all share it. Only the boomers share it if you're young. I think millennials and Gen Z aren't the ones sharing it because they're the most tech savvy generation. But the really, really young kids, they don't care. The really, really old kids, they find it's funny. Yeah, we're doomed in terms of AI. And then anything we don't like, we'll just call AI slop, which we already do. Now, the next prediction I will predict with my all-seeing eye is the gaming sphere. I know this might not be unpopular. I think GTA 6 will be declared a national holiday by basically every major government in the Western world. I think the game is too huge, too big, almost too big to fail at this point, and it will essentially cause like a micro dip of like a little bit of a microsecond of productivity for that one day it comes out, maybe for the 1 week, and we will all essentially declare it like, yeah, like another Christmas day on November of next year. There's way too many people who like it. There are way too many fans, especially in like the like just a general gaming fan, just the general audience who know what GTA 6 is, that I legitimately think it will just cause like a kind of a economic crash on that one day it comes out. Great for Take Two, but not for the rest of the economy. And speaking of gaming, I think this is my hot take of 2026. I think Ubisoft like turns it around. I think for 2026 they have a lot of good games that can do really well. They have 2 remakes. They have a Prince of Persia remake, not that one, but they have Sands of Time remake, the better one. Well, that's actually they're both as good, but Sands of Time is better. They have a remake of that, and they have a remake of Black Flag. And remakes should be easy to make. Generally, you've already made the game once. All you have to do is just polish up the graphics, keep the story relatively the same, and mix out with quality life features, and that's just like the bare minimum. You do that, and your reputation starts to climb back up a little bit. Like the Ubisoft reputation has been going down and down and down almost congruently with their stock price, and I think they kind of bottomed out at this point. I think Shadows was a wake-up call. I think them delaying it helped a lot. I think they realized they have to start making better games, or at least functioning games that run properly. So I think this is a good time for them to turn it around, specifically because remakes are easy to make. And then Hexe. So Hexe, Assassin's Creed Hexe, if you've not heard, is a newer type of game where it'll be linear. It'll be a little bit darker. It's made by Ubisoft Montreal, kind of the A team of Ubisoft's game developers. They're the ones who made Black Flag, Origins. Let's forget about Valhalla. But it's not an RPG, so it's going to be new. So it's going to be exciting, and it's going to tell original story. So I think they can turn it around really well. And speaking on the entertainment side, so if you guys have not heard, recently Netflix has made an attempt to purchase Warner Bros., the entire company. And with that, I'm going to predict movie theaters will even get less populated. I think the movie theaters were already on the way out in 2026, 2027, and if Netflix purchase goes through, it's over. It's done. So the death of movie theaters will be remembered as the same way CDs were in the 2000s. It'll just be a lost place where essentially like critters and the decrepit just go there and live there. It'll basically be just like a dead zone. Like zombies will infest movie theaters. Maybe the homeless will go there and make new encampments. It will be a dead place. I don't see movie theaters existing past the year 2020, especially if Netflix goes through, because then they can just literally release the next Superman directly on this TV, like right here. I don't go to the movie theaters. I have this freaking 4K TV right in front of me. I literally have my computer on one side of the wall and the TV on the other. I really don't think there's a point for movie theaters anymore. Even though I would go for IMAX, because IMAX is something genuinely you cannot recreate at home. Like the whole point of IMAX is that you see beyond a wall. You see the whole, not 3D perspective, but basically a 180 perspective, and you get better sound quality. I think that's the only way movie theaters live. But again, IMAX is still kind of like a niche thing. It's never going to replicate the movie theater experience of the 90s when it was a place to go. It was kind of like a third place. And it only makes sense because we're getting less and less social over the years. Everything, all the new technology advancement have been made to make us stay at home. Why would you want to go outside when you can game with your friends? Why would you want to go outside movies when you can watch movies at home? Why would you go see a concert even when, first of all, A, they're too expensive, and B, you can just listen to music at home? It's just, everything, all advancements in the last past year have been making us wanting to stay home forever. And that's Kind of sad actually. I'm a pretty social person too. And my next prediction, not that I'm kind of hoping it happens, but it's kind of like I'm seeing a lot of evidence for it. I think the president of the United States is going to pass away. I think he'll be the first president in quite maybe like 100 years who passes away in office. There's already a lot of signs like the hand markings, the slurring of the words. He talks a little slower. I don't think it's good. It's good health wise. Apparently, his shins is getting really big, which is a really good indication of like stroke and stuff. And remember that weekend where he just wasn't there at all? I think he might be the first one to pass away. And I think if he passes away, some part of the world will cheer. I think 90% of the world will cheer, and I think the other part of the world will be really sad. And then another part will be like, "Wow, I guess we don't have to release the Epstein files anymore." It's not really important, guys. We can close that down now. It's not like he's in there. It's not like, oh my god, he's in there. Just don't release them. So I think he passes away. If not this year, at least next year. I don't think he makes it to 2028. Not that it matters because he technically can't run 3 terms, right? He technically can't run 3 terms. Oh my god, he's gonna run 3rd term. Oh my god, he's gonna break the Constitution. Oh, and I think if he dies, I think America's standing as a world superpower was already going downhill, but now it's going worse and worse and worse. I think America has lost all its global power, and global like hegemony. And I think it's going downhill. And with that, for my next prediction, I think a war is coming. Yes, it doesn't matter who, doesn't matter how many lives are lost, just a good old-fashioned war. The world has already been kind of experiencing more wars lately, with like Russia and Ukraine winding down, Israel and Gaza. That one's kind of a weird one because you don't really claim war against the people with no nation and with like against a terrorist cell. Like that's kind of a weird one. Like, hey, it's just justifies killing all the civilians that are totally justified in. Oh my god, they're actually killing more of them. And, 80% of them have been civilians. Yeah, it's definitely a war, not a slaughter. But yeah, another war is coming. A lot of young men are like really hopeless in their lives. Housing is expensive. Cost of living is expensive. They can't find any girlfriends right now. So they're like, yeah, fuck it. Let's just go die in a war. We got nothing else to live for. Really, like sexual frustration really is how fascism happens and begins. So yeah, I think a war is coming. Oh, by the way, I was recording this right in the middle of the Trump launching a assault on Venezuela and just like kidnapping the head of state. And I know he's disliked, but like, didn't Trump say he didn't want to like have more wars? And he said Kamala would have done more wars, and he's the pro peace president. Doesn't really sound pro-peaceful. And justification for why he's spending American taxpayers on kidnapping the Venezuela head of state is oil. Just oil. We're going to go there, we're going to take the oil, and then we're going to dip. Because, that's what neo-colonialism is. We're not going to have white people living there. Oh, please, no one wants to live there. We just want your stuff. It's just piracy 101. So, yeah, that's just illegal. I might make a whole video about this, but yeah, they're not even hiding it. They're just be like, yeah, we want all your shit. Who cares? Oh yeah, Venezuela. I guess they're more peaceful now. We'll see. Hope it doesn't turn to an Iraq, because that was totally successful. How like, oh yeah, once America went to Iraq, they lived happily ever after, and nothing bad happened. Oh, ISIS, have you heard of them? Never did. ISIS was cool. It's not like power vacuums are happening. Yeah. So, and speaking of more world politics, I think FIFA World Cup will just make everyone hate America more, because if Trump's still alive by then, I predict that a lot of people will get kicked out or deported during the World Cup finale. And I think I'll just make everyone hate America. Like, even when Trump got inaugurated, apparently people were getting, like, deported left and right. Some random German people, some German white people were getting deported. I think that's how insane the Trump administration became. So I think some random, like, anyone can get deported for whatever reason. And at that point, I think the world starts to hate America even more. So, yeah. Oh, and also climate change is probably going to get worse too, but like, who cares? That's already been going worse and worse over the years. Anyway, thanks for watching. Oh, I didn't want this video to end on such a sour note. So one good piece of news I predict is that RAM prices won't go that high, and GPU price will probably crash because the AI crash will happen. But it won't go back down to what it was pre 2020. So yeah. Anyway, have a nice. I hope you have a good year.